All right, now let's talk about the basics
Yes.
from Murders at, again, Karlov Manor.
Yes.
This is really hard for me.
Yeah.
I understand I'm not the only one who wants to go to Markov. Markov is just so cool.
There's just something about Markov Manor.
Yeah, there is. I didn't pay as close attention to the spoilers for this set
Same.
leading up as I sometimes do. And so some things I just didn't notice. So I've got all these nice little surprises.
Yeah.
And one of them was I'm just glancing through the pack of basics that came with the bundle.
Okay.
And I glance at this basic mountain and think, that's
cool.
super obviously Rakdos.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And
I love that.
yeah.
I love these wire cages
Uh-huh.
that are hanging from... they've got these almost like... I'm thinking like the streamers in a circus or some kind of performative setup. We've got these wire cages and chains that are hooked up to the actual house itself. And is that like molten something coming down the front?
I think Rakdos hangs out in a pit of lava normally, so I think a lot of it's part of their aesthetic.
So this is probably like, is this like Rakdos' house? I don't know. Like, what is this location?
Well, there's a bit in the story about Judith kind of peeking in on Rakdos. I think that's who it is. No, or maybe it's Proft who goes and peeks in on Rakdos. Someone checks in on Rakdos, who's apparently sleeping like in a crater or something like that. So I don't know. I might be totally misrepresenting everything.
This definitely feels like a Rakdos location, though. Like, I don't know what exactly is taking place here, who lives here, but I know where we are.
But once I noticed that, I was like, oh, I bet since there are 10 basics, there's one for each of the guilds. And I looked at a couple more and said, oh, that's what's happening here. And then I decided I wanted to make a video out of it. And so I stopped thinking about it to the best of my ability. So I haven't discovered what all of them are, but I know like 3 of the others for sure.
Yeah, this one's very cool.
Yeah, and the other mountain is another one that I think is profoundly obvious. Yeah. It's, you see the arcing mad scientist lightning everywhere.
This is definitely a mad scientist lab location.
Yeah.
I love that the little people milling around, I can't tell if they're just in this area or if some of them are actively fleeing whatever's going on in that central
building. This every day?
Is this an everyday occurrence?
Like, I believe that, but I would also believe the other thing.
Yeah, they could just be in this location. Yeah, this is great. I love the arcing lightning. We've got like the various little steam vents and things going on over here, like the piping that we've seen a lot of flavored locations. Yeah, this is cool. I love the spires. And nice use of blue and red in the art.
Yeah, I feel like there have been a lot of restrictions lifted over time about particularly what's in basic lands.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know. In Bro, you had the full art basics with the giant robots, and it seems like before there was...
like the big mecha full art.
It seemed like they didn't put creatures or anything that could be perceived as a creature in basic lands, or maybe lands in general.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty rare to see any kind of creature.
Like,
in a
one of the Jumpstart has some unicorn clouds and stuff, and it feels, and one has a dog, and it feels weird when you first see that. It's like, hey, it
definitely stands out.
But I don't know. This is good, where figures are present, but they're so tiny that they don't draw focus.
Yeah, they're super small.
This is good. And then the third one that I just couldn't help but realize what it was is the planes that has the Boros Legion flag. It's there. So that was too obvious. And I'm hoping none of the others are quite that obvious, because it's a little more interesting to have to think about it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then there are all these trees and have a little bit of a Selesnya vibe.
Right.
So, which makes me question, are these supposed to be 100%, one of the guilds, or are they supposed to be... But I think so. I think that's probably still what that is. Boros has probably just got one of the white ones. So then let's just pick a random one out of these remaining 7. All right, this is one of the forests.
All right, so I feel like this is... So the first thing that comes to mind is Overgrown Tomb, which is a green-black land because of that structure in the middle.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, is this the Golgari land? I feel like it's probably not.
What with the pretty flowers basically in the front. And are those really little butterflies, like glowing yellow butterflies?
Yeah, like that doesn't feel like
that feels super Selesnya.
Yeah, this feels like, I'm going to guess this is the Selesnya land until proven otherwise.
I think so. And I don't know if it's better or worse that it's not incredibly obvious.
Yeah. I love the setup, though. I like this little bridge in the foreground. And the flowers up front are really nice.
This seems like a much nicer place to spend time.
Yeah, like I want to go here.
Disaster.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to visit the Is It Disaster Zone, but this looks really tranquil.
Visit the Is It. Okay. Yeah, let's call that Selesnya. I'm fairly certain we're correct. Let's see what's next.
Let's see what this is. Okay, this looks like a Golgari land. This is a swamp. We've got
mushrooms.
Various mushrooms. There's a skeleton. It's underground.
Oh, is that a skeleton that's there in the kind of...
Yeah, that's a skeleton.
It is.
That is definitely a skeleton.
Yeah.
Actually, there's several skeletons. If you zoom in over here...
Oh, you're right.
There's several more. There's at least 3 skeletons
the subtle things I was missing
in this art.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're under the city. This looks like some kind of... Probably connected to like a water or sewer system or something. I don't know.
That totally fits in.
But yeah, this has got to be the Golgari land. Yep. I can't imagine what else that is.
Yep. Pretty straightforward. All right, pick another one at random.
Oh, look, another swamp.
The other swamp.
Is this the Dimir land?
I think it must be. Those wispy, wavy things look very elven. Like Tolkien Elven.
Yeah.
By which I mean Peter Jackson Tolkien Elven. But I still think it's probably Dimir because Selesnya are kind of the elf people and they are not in black. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's probably right.
Yeah, that would be my guess. I don't see anything that really obviously pointing, but I'm like, this just feels like blue-black.
And this, it feels generically Ravnican, which is that slightly disappointing? I don't know. Dimir are supposed to be subtle and hidden.
They're very subtle. They're not known for being obvious about anything.
Yeah. Do you like it just as a standalone piece of art?
I do, actually. I really like up front, it almost looks like they're probably stones, but it almost looks like little lily pads toward the very foreground of this piece. And I kind of like the stairway going up into nothing.
Is this a crack or is this like a vine on that stairway? It's so organic.
I feel like it would have to be a vine. It's so organic. And there's lots of other viney things growing around, so that would make sense.
And that's kind of a Golgari thing, but I still think between the two, this is probably Dimir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they've pretty firmly claimed mushrooms in the Golgari.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Next.
Okay. Let's see. Sight unseen.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a forest. This.
Forest.
What is this?
Well, we've looked at both. Gruul? It has to be Gruul just by process of elimination because we've seen both red and the other green. Yeah. And I don't think it's too ambiguous which the other ones are.
Can you tell what that is in the middle? That projection?
It's a mortar.
Okay,
no,
sure.
I think it's a stump. But like that is kind of strange. I wasn't thinking about that. I mean,
this one almost reminds me of some of the lands in Khans of Tarkir. It actually has kind of like
Sultai
sort of
lands?
jungle. Yeah, like some of the Sultai lands have that kind of jungle feel to them.
This has more of a nice idyllic aesthetic.
Yeah, it does.
Dog's eating the trash here. Get out of my trash. Give me that trash. Don't eat it.
Yeah, this again though, like this looks like a place that I could hang out. I wouldn't mind being here. It doesn't look threatening.
Yeah. It makes sense for Ravnica. I believe this is a thing that happens there, but it doesn't look particularly Gruul. They're all about reclaiming parts of the city, is my sense. They're kind of like the recycling system. Reduce, recycle,
I mean, I guess this could be some kind of building that's fallen into disuse.
It seems like the Gruul were here 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And now it's just nature that's kind of done its thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little more green than red.
All right, so...
I like it.
Yeah. I think this scores low on the representing a particular guild, but high on a nice place.
Yeah, this seems like a nice place.
All right. What's left?
All right, we've got an island here.
Yeah, we haven't done either island yet.
This is probably... I'm going to guess Azorius.
I think you're right, but what makes you say that?
It's kind of just a general feeling.
Yeah.
Again, we don't have a lot to go on here.
I have to rescue more trash from the dog.
That's fair.
Please stop eating the trash. Please.
Yeah. This is another one that doesn't have a lot of obvious clues. It feels like a nice place. Yeah. Like, I would like to go sit here and enjoy a cup of tea next to this nice little fountain.
Yeah.
I think what's making it feel kind of Azorius is the view of the city in the background. I'm thinking back to a lot of Azorius cards where you can very clearly see parts of the city. There's that kind of, like, I feel like that sort of ties into the representation of, like, Law and Order.
High
it's like, this is the high perspective of civilization.
And this is another one that really combines the colors of white and blue, too. Like, the top is all white, and it's... Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just the haze of the water, but it's...
a bird up top, and we see a lot of flying creatures in blue and white in many sets.
That's true.
Not exclusively, but, like, that is a common theme, like blue-white flyers, pretty good archetype most of the time.
All right, what's next to last?
Okay, next to last, we've got... Oh, here's the other island. This has got to be Simic. This one feels so obvious. We've got all kinds of, like, coral growth. I don't know what those things, I mean, some kind of it feels very aquatic.
It does. But the Simic aren't always like merfolk based, right? But their most recent leaders have been.
Their most recent leaders have been, and I feel like a lot of Simic experimental creatures combine things like sharks, crabs, octopus.
I'm pretty sure we can empirically verify that.
Yeah, I not exclusively, but you see a lot of combinations of things that are like aquatic plus.
Yeah.
You know, there's that little flying frog guy that from one of the other Ravnica sets. I'll have to look him up and we can add him to the video. But yeah, this one just feels like a Simic land, and it's got a lot of those swirly motifs that you see in a lot of Simic related architecture and costuming.
Yeah, this is super Simic. I don't know if it feels super Ravnican to go. I think this would fit on a lot of different planes.
I think this could, this could almost go in. I could even see this being part of Kaladesh, maybe.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
But it fits well enough here.
I think it works. This feels like a secluded area of the city. I don't get the sense, like, we can kind of see some of the city spires in the background, but this doesn't feel like it's right in the middle of everything to me.
All right, well, that leaves just one left, and makes me think either we're wrong about this entire cycle, or we've gotten one wrong, because Orzhov is all that's left, right?
Yeah, we haven't selected one for Orzhov.
But what does this look like to you? This looks like
this looks like I would have guessed Selesnya based on the art.
Yeah.
So, if we're wrong about one of these, which one would it be?
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not the other planes. That one has the Boros icon on it. I mean, well, there's this the one we tacked for Dimir.
This was our selection for Dimir.
That doesn't look Orzhov either.
I don't feel like that's Orzhov. And then the other planes is obviously Boros. Like, that's the most obvious guild-associated land in this lineup.
And it has to be black or white.
It's got to be black or white.
Golgari is incredibly clear.
Yeah. I mean, I think we chose...
I think we're right.
I think we said, like, if that's our Selesnya land, then this would be the Orzhov one. It just feels very Selesnyan.
Yeah. I wonder if something happened with the art prompts or the way this worked. It just doesn't seem like this is part of the same cycle.
Yeah, this one feels like kind of an outlier.
It feels like we got two Selesnya and... Because even, I don't know, domes are kind of through line throughout almost the entire plane.
Yeah, we see that a lot, and we see that repeated a lot in the architecture. Yeah, I'm not sure which one, if we were to reassign any of these, because I feel pretty confident about both of the swamps.
You know what, though? I haven't been following it closely, but there are presumably, like, augmented reality games or various riddles going alongside the release of this set.
Yeah.
maybe this is actually one of them. Maybe
That's
there's
possible.
a missing guild from this series.
Which one is? I mean, well, this is murder at Karlov Manor.
Yeah.
Teza was the leader of the Orzhov Guild.
And she's absent now.
Yeah.
I mean, but other guild leaders are killed too.
That's true.
But I mean, that could be it. It really.
Yeah. This one does feel like, because this feels like the Selesnya land.
Yeah.
And then I'm still kind of torn about. See, that's the one that I was like, thought kind of referenced Overgrown Tomb, but I don't feel like any of these other ones would be good fits for Orzhov.
Yeah. I think all the rest of this feels pretty clear.
Yeah.
But
yeah. That is really interesting.
Intriguing.
We're gonna have to do some research on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You like them though on the whole?
On the whole, yeah. I think that some of them do a better job than others at really feeling like the Rakdos one we selected. Yeah. The two mountains feel very spot on. Like we're in Ravnica.
Yeah, like if I make a Rakdos deck, I'm not gonna go for a full art land of any kind. I'm gonna go for this.
That's the one.
This is just right. Yeah.
That Simic one would be pretty good too for a Simic deck. I feel like though some of these are kind of more mid, where I'm like, that looks like a really nice place. I like the location, but it doesn't feel especially like I'm in Ravnica.
Both the ones that we're saying might be Selesnya, the plains and the forest could fit with Theros.
They could fit in other sets, yeah. Like that would be fine. I could even see the island that I pinned as Azorius being in another set, and like that wouldn't be that weird.
Also Theros.
Yeah, that could go in Theros. There's a lot of overlap. I don't know. It's like that doesn't feel that weird or out of touch. And then like the forest that we selected for Selesnya, that could go in a lot of places where I'm like, that just looks like a nice place. It's not particularly fairy tale, but I could almost see that being in Eldraine with the flowers and the little tiny bridge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that the mountains are the most like we're in Ravnica feeling.
They're super flavorful.
Probably followed closely by the island, the Simic island for me.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are nice, but don't feel particularly tied into the flavor of this set for me.
These are really cool in that I haven't thought this much about the basic lands for
that's true.
A very long time.
I don't usually think that hard about them. I think the last time I thought really hard about basic lands from any particular set was there's a set of panorama lands that they've done a few different times, and I was trying to collect all of them. But yeah, I think this is the first time I've thought about basic lands this much in recent memory, for sure.
These are cool, though.
They are.
Good job.
Overall, I really like
team.
them. Yeah. Good job.
Nice work.